Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this channel named Geeks for Geeks School. Thank you very much for joining me at this time in this tutorial. So, in the previous lecture, we learned to create the movement of this enemy player, right? So we can see there is an enemy and which is moving, and as soon as it will come in contact with the player, with the main player of the game, that is this. So what will happen? The window on which we are able to see the game, it will collapse and we will come back on the coding part. So in the previous lecture, we learned how can we use code and what code can be used for detecting the collision, right? Which is happening in between the enemy player and the player sprite. Then today in this lecture, we are going to check how can we change the view of our game completely to something like this, right? So that's what we are going to do today. So today's lecture is going to be extremely amazing and it's going to be extremely interesting like always. So please don't skip any part. Please don't please be there throughout the lecture. Okay, just a second. Let me do some settings over here. I think, yeah, now it is fine. So let's begin with the coding part. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to come down over here, right, in this player section. In this player section. So here we have defined a specific color for the surface which is appearing, on the window when we start the game. So that is our player, right? And that's the color which we have provided to that surface of player. Now what we are going to do, we are going to replace the color with an image. Okay, so I've already downloaded the image in the folder uh, in which this Gaurav.csv file is present. Right, I've downloaded this image in the very same folder. So what I am going to do now, I'm going to just eliminate this surface coding from here. I'm eliminating these two lines of code from here, and let's now use this self.serve equal to pygame dot image dot load. So that's the function with the help of which you can bring any image, you can load any image on your game window, and the name with which I have saved the image is this. Let me just show you that image also, just a second. So it's there in my users folder and I'll have to now locate it. So I think it's in programs and then I need to come in this Python. Right, so the folder in which my Python files are saved, over there I have some images. So that's the one which I'm going to make use of for my player sprite, right? This is the jet image, okay, which I'm going to import now. It is totally your call which image you want to use, but you need to know about, these small things. For example, for loading the image, for loading any image on your game window, you need to make use of this function image.load, and then you can make use of this convert function for converting it in that form which is compatible with your game, right? So that's the whole thing that you can make use of. Now let's come down and self.serve dot set underscore, we need to set the color key also, which is again a very important thing. So I would like to set the color key equal to, let's make it of white color. I think white will be fine, right? And then we need to have this, okay, r liesel, and we need to call it here also. We'll talk about this thing later on, but for now, I would like you to just, put the same code both on here also inside this pygame.local. So we have this r liaison in pygame.locals, which is again for identifying the key the user has pressed. So now if I will run the game, let's see what's gonna happen. So as you can see, this aeroplane is now visible to me over here. See, right? We are able to see this aeroplane, and as soon as that enemy sprite collided with that aeroplane, the window went away, and we are back on this coding window. So that's how you can load any image on your this coding window. I hope you have understood this thing. And do we have to modify any other thing? Let me just check the code. Okay, so this is perfectly fine. Now we need to come down on this enemy sprite. So the same thing we are going to do with this code also, which we have defined for getting the enemy sprite reflected on our game window, right? So what we can do, we don't want this code anymore, so we can change this much of part with the same code that we used for bringing the player sprites image on the game window. So pygame.image.load, same function I'm using here also, and the name of that image is this missile. So I want to see some missiles coming from the left side towards the right side. So I'm changing it to missile. Sorry, I'm putting here missile.png, and let's make use of this convert function. Perfect. Now it's time for us to set the color key. So we can simply change it to self.surf.set underscore color key, and the color is going to remain this only, and then we have to call this also our ESL. Okay, I think rest everything is going to remain the same. Let me just check it once. So we have this rectangle code, then that's the one which is going to help us in defining the position of the enemy sprites which will get created, right? This is the one which is going to help us in providing a speed to the enemy sprite, right? Let me just run this code and see what's going to happen. What's the output we will get? Okay, so the enemy sprite, earlier some white rectangle was visible to us, and now it's a bullet that is visible to us over here. So it's looking pretty cool right now. And let's see if the bullet will hit this player. So automatically, what happened? The window got closed, and we are back on this coding panel. So that's how you can make use of this image.load function, and you can replace the sprites you have created with simple coding with some images. Okay, now let's check out what else do we have to do. We need to come down, I think. Yeah. So, here in this, if I'll run this code, what is happening? I'm able to see some, clouds also getting reflected over here, right? So how can we get these clouds? Now that's what we have to check out. No problem, we'll do it. So the way we have created the player sprite, the way we have created the enemy sprite, I think in the same way we can create the cloud sprite also. We can come over here, that's the enemy sprite, and that's where the enemy is getting killed. So as soon as the enemy gets killed, a new enemy sprite will get generated, and we'll see it moving, again it will start moving towards the left side. So what I am doing, I'm coming over here, and let's define a separate class for the cloud, right? So we are going to have the same code over here, pygame.sprite s should be in small of the first sprite, and of the second one it should be in capital, right? And then we can put a colon over here. Okay, and then we can have what I'm doing, I'm copying this whole code, and let me just put the same over here, and then I will make the changes. So what I have done, I've copied the code which I've defined for the enemy sprite, and I have pasted it over here inside the class part of this cloud, the new class which I have defined for creating, for getting the cloud images on my window. So we have this init function, then this is a super function which is going to inherit for us all the properties of the parent class in the what we call it, child class, right? And then we have this self.surf. Here we can change this image to, I have this image named cloud.png. I think, let me just check it once. I think I have one. Yeah. So we have this image cloud.png over here. That's what we're going to use. Right. And then we can set the color key. So color key is going to be, let me make it black for now. I think black is going to look fine. Then we have this self.rect, self.surf.getRect, and then we have this center position. Okay, so I think it is, if we'll define the same thing, same code which you have defined for the enemy sprite, then also it is going to look fine, I think. Okay, let it be like this only. I'm not making any changes over here. Let's come down and see what do we have to do next. Okay, so we have this center over here, fine. What else do we need to do? We need to define the update function also. Do we have any update function over here? Yes, we do have. So it is going to help us in updating the position of the cloud sprites, right? It is also very important. Again, I don't want this speed, so I am making it a comment. Yeah, so I made it a comment. I don't want this, right? And update self.reg.move IP, and it should be, let me give it a hardcore value. So I would like it to move with this speed -5, right? Then we can check whether self.reg.write is smaller than 0. If it is smaller than 0, so the cloud also should get killed. That's a function which is going to help us in killing the crowd. Let me now run the game and see what's gonna happen. Okay, I'll not be able to run this because I haven't. Okay, there is some issue here. What is that issue? We need to check that out. So we are done with defining this enemy. Super is there. Okay, it should be cloud, right? It should not be enemy, because we are inheriting the properties of this class, right? Super cloud, cloud self dot init. No problem. Let's define the whole code, and after that we'll check why we are getting this error. So because there is a main loop named while loop, inside which we have to call this thing. The way we have defined group, right? The way the enemies are coming from a group, in the same way we are going to define a separate group for the cloud sprites also. Now just below this pygame.init, we can set up the clock for a decent frame rate. So we can have a separate variable for this. Let's have a variable with name clock and equal to, where can we get the timings from? So there is a function in Pygame. The name of that function is clock, and it is present in time. So that's how you can access that. Okay, then we have this screen which is going to help us in setting the dimensions of the window on which the game is appearing. Uh, the way we have this add enemy, for which is adding the enemy to this timer, let's have the same thing for the cloud also. You know why I'm doing this? Because for the main player, the the rocket which we are able to see when the game runs. So for the main player, it is a single player, but for the enemy sprite and for the cloud, we want a group of those things, right? So that is the reason these two codes are mandatory for us to define. If you want to know more about these two codes, I would suggest you to please check the previous tutorial which I shooted yesterday. And if you want to know about everything, whatever you are able to see over here, please go and check out the previous 6 tutorials in which I have explained about every single line of code which you are able to see on this Sublime Text platform. But definitely, if time will allow me, I will again tell you about each and everything in brief. So don't go anywhere for now. You can concentrate on this lecture. In case you come across any issue, you can put your queries in the comment section. Definitely, once I'm done with coding the whole game, I'll check the comment box, and in case I find your query interesting, definitely I'll give the answer to that query. So the way we have this add enemy over here, we can have something like add cloud, right? So I want to make it pretty simple for you. That's why I'm using such variables. And here, because I don't want the bullet and the cloud to move at the same point, they should not be at the same point. I want the enemy should go ahead and the cloud should move a little bit slow, or they should appear at two different points. So that's the reason here I have added one, and here I have added two. And besides that, what I can do, I can change this one to 1,000, right? So 250 sprites of this and 1,000 sprites of the cloud. I think that is going to give us a very good output. Now we need to come down enemies dot. Here we have created the group. The way we have created the group for the enemy sprites, in the same way we need to create the group for the cloud sprites also. So I'm copying this whole code and I'm putting it right below it. Let's change it to I think cloud is going to be clouds. I think clouds is going to be a good option. Pygame.sprite.group, it is going to remain the same. Then we have this all sprite. Okay, for pygame.sprite.group. Then we are adding the player to the sprite. Fine. Then this is running.true. And now we have come to this main loop, which is our while loop. So here we have defined everything, whatever we want the game to check. So if the user will press any of the keys, that's the event it will check first, whether it is an escape key or not. If it is an escape key, the value of running will go false and the window will get closed. If the player will hit the close button, the value of running will again become false and the window will close. And here we have this add enemy loop. So what I am doing, I'm copying the same thing and I am going to use the same code for the cloud sprite also. So as you get, so you must have come to know about the way we have created the cloud sprites. In the same way we can create the cloud sprites also, the way we have created the enemy sprites, and we have used the grouping method. We are creating a group, and from that group, uh, every time a new enemy sprite gets generated, it becomes a part of a group, and from that group now the enemy comes out when the existing enemy gets killed. So the same concept I'm using for the cloud also. If event.type is equal to, here we can replace it with add cloud, right? We can replace it with add cloud. New enemy is going to be here we can replace it with new cloud, and here we are going to replace it with cloud, like this we can do, right? And then we have to replace it with clouds. That is right. It's time for us to add the new cloud, right? And now all sprites dot add, and here we can change it to cloud like this, right? Okay, and I think rest everything is going to remain the same. Now what we are doing, we are updating the enemies. In the same way we can update the clouds also. So clouds dot update Gaurav 123 G capital. So clouds dot update we can put over here, right? And let me now see if everything is fine. So screen dot fill we have used for filling the color, for filling the background of the window with this black color, right? And then we have used this for control of for loop. It is going to help us in bringing everything on the window. And if you want to know more about this split function, which is also known as block transfer function, you're most welcome to go and check my tutorials, previous tutorials. So I'm running this again. Okay, before that, let me also check whether everything is going fine on my YouTube channel or not. So I hope you guys are enjoying these lectures. If you guys have any issues, please do let me know in the comment section so that I can, resolve your queries. I can help you in every possible manner. Code producer, thank you very much, dear, for joining me at this time in this tutorial. It means a lot to me. The way you guys are supporting this channel and the way you guys are supporting me, and you are liking my videos on regular, you're liking and sharing my videos on regular basis. So thank you so very much for everything, for whatever efforts you're putting to make me popular. Thank you so very much. It is really very much required, because we want the other students also who want to learn coding to come to our channel and to use these amazing classes which we are providing, so to learn coding, right? That is why we are taking these classes. It's because of you. Okay. So I am getting an error over here. Now I have to check why it is showing me an error. So here also everything is fine. Let me now copy this thing, and if I'll replace this with this, I just have to change enemy to cloud, right? That's what I have to do. The rest everything is going to remain the same. Let me check if now I'll get the output or not. Okay, so I'm getting an error. On which line am I getting this error? Clock.pygame.clock module pygame.time has no attribute clock. Okay, so why it is showing us this error? Now that's what we have to see. We can come down. Let me close this window. Okay, coming down. So clock pygame.time.clock, why it is not accepting this? Now that's what we have to look into. I think it should be capital C, maybe that's the reason. Let me check. Yeah, now it has accepted it, and we are able to see these clouds and the sea. The game is looking now extremely beautiful. We are able to see the clouds, we are able to see the enemies also, right? So that's how you can make it more amazing. See. Okay, so that's how you can replace everything with images and make your game more interactive, and you can add some more images the way I've added the cloud image, which you are able to see traveling from left side to the right side. Okay, let me check if I have anything to answer, because it's again a very important thing. Okay, so everything is going fine, but I'm not able to see any queries in the comment box. Okay, let me see if I can make it more interesting. So if I'll change it to 2, 2, 2, and 2. Let's see what's gonna happen. So I'm running this game again on Python, and okay, now what is happening? The Earlier the rocket was moving very fast. Okay, okay, fine. This is also perfectly fine. And then we have, okay, so I think I'm done with the whole code which I wanted to discuss with you guys in this lecture. The remaining thing, how can we make it more interesting by adding sounds to it, by changing the background of the game. So we are going to do it in the next lecture definitely. But in case you have any queries related to whatever we have done till now in this game, so you guys are most welcome to put your queries in the chat box so that I can see and I can answer your queries. Because until and unless you will share your queries with me, you will share your issues with me, I will not be able to resolve them. If you want me to help you guys out in any ways, you'll have to share your ideas with me, you'll have to share your thoughts with me. And I know you guys will definitely do it one day if you're not doing it right now. But feel free to share your things with me, because there are students who have lots and lots of ideas, but they are shy, they are they don't I don't want maybe they are shy and they don't want to bring it forward, or they don't want to share it with anyone. See, until and unless you will share it with me or someone else, you will not be able to get the answers of your queries. Neither you will be able to get the tutorials on the things which you expect the channel to give you. Right, if you want to have tutorial on some other thing, you can please share that thing in the chat box. If you want to have tutorials on, suppose, Python app development, you can share with us that thing in the chat box. Right now we are doing this game development, and it is just because we have received we have received demand for these coding classes, these Python game development coding classes. There are a number of students who demanded for this, who asked for these Python game development coding classes, and that is the reason why we are why we are providing these coding classes to you guys, and that too free of cost. Right, so it's better if you will keep sharing your ideas with us. It may be possible that you may have one idea, it may be possible you may have 100 ideas, 1,000 or 2,000. Right, you're most welcome to put it in the chat box and share with us, so that we can take the initiative and we can teach you what you want to learn. Right, this game development series is again very amazing. I know that you guys are enjoying it very much, but we want you to share with us more ideas. What kind of games you want to develop? If suppose you want to go for some advanced level games, definitely we are going to teach you that also. From the next week, we are going to start with some advanced game development things. But if you already have some ideas and you are not getting any relevant videos on those ideas anywhere on YouTube channel, anywhere on YouTube, so you are most welcome to share those things with us in the chat box. All right, you can also personally reach me and you can talk to me, or else you can talk to our executives. You already know the toll free number of our teams, with the help of which you can reach to our executive department, and you can talk to them, you can tell your queries to them. They can provide you with some solution, with some great solutions. Definitely you're going to like those solutions. And also I would like to tell you that we have come up with some very great courses, like the way I've told you about the data structures and algorithm course in the previous couple of lectures. I think I've already talked about that course a lot, which we have come up with recently. We have courses related to Excel also. We have courses related to website development also, Java, Python. We have courses for everything. So if you want to avail any course and you have any queries in your mind, you have any doubts in your mind, you're most welcome to share those doubts with us. All right, definitely I'm going to give you the answer to all the queries you're going to put in the chat box and share with me. And also, to if you want to reach to some of our executives, to our executive team, and you want to talk to them personally, you're most welcome to do the same. If you want me to help you with a toll free number of our executive department, let me do that too. So where can you find the toll free number? That also I would like to tell you. And I would also like to tell you about this data structures and algorithm course which we guys have come up with. So that's the URL, practice.geeksforgeeks.org/courses/first dash step dash 2 dash DSA. So that's the URL of the web page we have designed, where you can find the information of this course we have developed on this data structures and algorithm thing. So we are going to teach you right from the scratch, and then we'll talk about some advanced concepts, and finally when you will become confident in the advanced concepts, we'll teach you something which is right now going on in the market. We will be providing you with the live sessions, and we'll be providing you with the problem solving sessions also in this course. So that's our toll free number on which you can reach us, or if you want to drop us an email, so that's our official email ID. Okay, so whatever courses right now which we are providing, they are very cheap, to be very honest with you. If you'll go on some other platform and if you'll search for the courses, definitely you'll find the courses over there also, but the kind of content we have and the kind of pricing we are giving that content, that is really unbelievable, to be very honest with you, because we are not here to earn money from you. We are not money oriented, and that is the reason we are progressing. Okay, so if you want to avail any course which you think is going to benefit your career, which you think is going to benefit you in your career, and which is going to benefit you in enhancing your problem solving skills or thinking skills, then please don't wait. Take take any of our courses which we are giving, or if you have any queries, you can reach to us on this toll free number, or else you can drop us an email on this official address. If you want to share that query with me, you can put it in the chat box. Definitely I'm going to respond to all your queries. Now before leaving, I would again like to check the comments box so that I can see if I have any queries. Definitely I can give the answer. Okay, I'm not able to see any queries over here. No problem. In case you come across any issue while developing or while designing or while coding this game, you're most welcome to, share your issues with me. I'm definitely going to help you guys out with the same. Right, and in the next lecture, we are going to try to make this game more interesting and more, appealing. Okay, so this is it from my side in this lecture. Hope you guys enjoyed this one a lot. Thank you very much for being there with me in this tutorial. Have a great day ahead, and I hope to see you in the next lecture also very soon, which I'm going to shoot at the same time, that is 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you very much, all of you, and keep liking and sharing our video.